So this is an example of just using the inbuilt microphone and the inbuilt speakers on your laptop. And this is a pretty typical scenario for most people starting out with live streaming. They'll just use the inbuilt microphone in their computer. Now, as you can see, it sounds pretty boomy. It's a bit muddy. The trouble with using a microphone in this situation is that it doesn't suppress any of the external noise factors. So if you've got, you know, kids running around, or if you're in some sort of a busy office, it doesn't offer you any privacy from the sound that's around. And look, in my opinion, it's the least successful way of recording good audio for live streaming.
Okay, now I've given this example to show that sometimes what might look good might not work out that well. I'm using the inbuilt microphone on these Sony Bluetooth headphones, which you might think might sound pretty good, but as you can hear, it's a bit muffled and horrible sounding. I can't tell you why the microphone, these quite expensive headphones, sound so terrible, but they truly are. So a little tip here is you really have to check out the quality of your microphone before you commit to it for your live streaming project.
Now, this is example number 3, and this one's a pretty good example of what you could really aiming to achieve. This is a Jabra headset, and it actually uses a wire, you can see here, which plugs into your laptop microphone port. Similar type things might actually have a USB connection where you actually plug it into the USB port, and then you select in your sound settings the USB input for the sound so that you can access it. Now, the good thing about using a microphone like this is the microphone is really close to your mouth, so it doesn't get much external noise. It doesn't actually have any sort of electronic noise cancelling type software or anything built into it to stop external noises, but just the microphone being placed so close to the mouth can really suppress external noise, suppress your environment so you don't get that echoey sound, you get that nice clean direct sound, as well as obviously having the headphones built in for convenience. The good thing about it as well, of course, is that you can be moving around, you can do all this type of thing, and the microphone is always really close to your mouth, so you get a pretty good result. The one little tip to think of with these, always be careful of not having the boom directly over your mouth, because sometimes the sound of your breath can be really distracting and can really take away the quality. So I tend to want to have it just a little bit lower, somewhere about there. Yeah, that looks like a pretty good spot. That'll give you a pretty good result, and you should be pretty happy with the results of that. I think one of the better solutions, you can get them in a Bluetooth format as well, which means that you're not tied down by a cable, you can walk around.
Now, this example may seem a little bit over the top, but it might be appropriate for the type of product you're doing, particularly if you're doing something really, really audio dependent, like, say, for example, podcasts. You might want to go for something like this. Now, this is a Rode Procaster microphone, and it connects up via an audio interface directly into the laptop. Now, the audio quality is probably as good as you could possibly hope to achieve in a home studio type setup, but there's one obvious problem with it. It's a little bit visually distracting, and because of the type of microphone it is, it actually needs to be quite close to your mouth, because if you're a bit far away it doesn't sound that great anymore, so you really need to be right up on it to get that nice quality podcasting sound. Look, it's not the right choice for most live streaming type scenarios, but it's worth knowing about if you do have a particular project or whatever that requires really great quality, but you do have to be on the microphone. So slightly over the top, but worth knowing about.